no matter how good your creative is, your content is, if you don't hone in, if you don't actually get really good in your audience, you're actually gonna waste your dollars. There are some points when it comes to Facebook advertising that are make-break points. You win or you fail based on your results on that particular area. This is a huge one, guys, because for example, Facebook has a lot of data, but let's say the example that I use on my seminars is that Rogaine wants to grow their brand and they start positioning their messages in front of me. Guys, let me guarantee you something, they're gonna waste every single penny of those ads because I have zero interest in growing my hair. So to give you that example, a lot of brands do this incorrectly, not only Rogaine. I don't know about Rogaine strategies, but just to give you that example, that it's important, very, very important to have the right audience. The great news is that Facebook gives you the right data. Very different results can come from advertising to the right people or to the wrong people. I can tell you for sure that if you waste your advertising dollars, one or two factors are gonna be out. There's only two options. Either your creative was off and people didn't like it at all, or your audience was the wrong one. Always, always, when you have a campaign that did not achieve the results expected, ask yourself both questions. What do I need to fix? My targeting, or do I need to fix my creative? I need to fix both of them. The reality is that it could be either both of them or one of them. But one of those reasons are causing your campaigns to not give you the results that you expected. So on this lesson, after it, I want you to have more of a clear understanding on how to do audience and using the right selection of audiences on your Facebook Ads Manager. So we are here in the Ads Manager. And since we are running a branding campaign as the first one that we talked about that you should already have your video that you're gonna use for branding purposes, we're gonna run a branding campaign. We're gonna get people connected with our brand. Very simple. So we're gonna call this branding campaign number A. Letter A. And there's a quick thing that we're gonna do right here. Let me set it up very quickly. Okay, so we're gonna go continue here, and now we're gonna go to the ad set level. Again, it's only 3 levels that you have to complete here. You gotta complete your campaign level, select which objective, your ad set level, meaning who are you going to target on this campaign, and also your ad, which we're gonna talk about in a later lesson. So now here, this is where all the magic happens when it comes to actual targeting correctly the audience. This is where it all happens, guys. Here you're gonna select whether you want to actually target United States, or you're going into Amazon Canada, or you have a shop in Europe, or whatever it is. You're gonna select your audience here. Who are you gonna put that message in front of? Now, keep in mind, look at the top right corner of the screen. The potential reach is 230 million people in the United States. Now, if I change that, and let me go ahead and change this to worldwide. We're gonna use worldwide as a region. Check this out. It suddenly switched, and now we got 2.1 billion potential reach. Imagine that. Can you try to put 2 billion people in a room? No, obviously not. Or a country? No, you can't. Guys, this is a lot of people, a lot of potential people that could become your customers. So you want to be able to select these people correctly. When you're talking about selecting your audience, I have some bellwethers, some metrics that I recommend that you stick to, okay? Something that you shouldn't go beyond. When you're doing a targeting campaign, I say that as selecting your audience, always stick within 1 to 2 million in your target audience. Not less than that, not more than that. If you want to test out different audiences, you duplicate that and actually test out other ones. If you have a really big audience, then you might not be super honed in on your exact audience. But if you have a very small one, then your reach gets cut down and you spend your money too fast. So being the fact that Facebook advertising is still really affordable, having an audience of 1 million to 2 million people is actually a great number. So what you do is that you keep on optimizing your ads until you have an audience that size. The technology and the software makes it easy for you to actually position your ad in front of a number of people, which is actually targeted, highly targeted like that. So let's do a quick test here. Let's say that I'm doing a branding campaign. And in my case, I am a marketer and I want to sell my marketing services to somebody. And I want to show them how my agency can help them maybe get more leads, generate more income, grow their brand, help them get more attention. Okay, so how am I going to bring that down to 1 million to 2 million people? Let's do a live test right here. So first of all, definitely I'm not going worldwide. I'm going to go to United States. And I'm going to look at realistically. You have to understand one thing that you actually should do right now after this lesson is done is that I want you to grab a drawing board, a whiteboard, or if you're all into technology, grab a software tool like Notes and picture your ideal customer. What is the age of that customer? What is the exact demographic? What is the income level? Where do they live exactly? What things are they interested on? What stores do they visit? Everything that you can, just picture, like they say, an avatar from beginning to end. Everything about this person's life. And this will help you get closer to your ideal audience. In my case, I know that, for example, people that are likely to hire us for our services are entrepreneurs between the ages of 35 to probably 49, okay? Maybe some more than that. There are exceptions to that, of course, but I just want to find out that level. I can test out other audiences, but in this one, I want to test a 1 to 2 million people audience that are entrepreneurs in this case. So here, let me go ahead and change this right here. I'm going to select male, even though a lot of you ladies are super entrepreneurs. I'm going to select males because most of my customers are males. So I tend to have more like of a, consistent flow of interest from male. So the question is, where do I get the most return on investment? Generally, for an agency, it's males. So I'm going to go ahead and close that audience up a little bit. And I'm going to go to 35 to 44 years old. Let's do 49 and let's go to men, okay, right here. So now check it out. It's still a big audience, guys. Now, instead of 220 million, we're down to 30 million people. So what does that mean? That in the United States, ages 35 to 49 years old, males are active on Facebook. 30 million people are active on Facebook on those demographics. Let's keep bringing it down. Do we have the right audience here? No, this is going to help me actually just do nothing but waste my money. An audience like this is not going to work. Guys, no matter how good your creative is, your content is, if you don't hone in, if you don't actually get really good in your audience, you're actually going to waste your dollars. So let's go to something more specific. So in my case, I want to find people that are interested in business. How do I do that? Very simple. You can actually do the interest targeting. So you can find people. There's something that Facebook calls core audiences. Core audiences is basically an audience of people that are using Facebook's data. There's 3 types of audiences only, and that's all there is. There's core audiences, there's custom audiences, and then there's website data from your visitors to your website. What does that mean? That, for example, if you have a core audience, people that are interested on different pages, people that are that Facebook has data about, or you can also have a custom audience. A custom audience, by definition, is an audience of people that you have the contact for them. Like, for example, somebody that has been your customer, somebody that gave you their lead already, their information. That's a custom audience. Somebody that previously engaged with your brand, that's a custom audience. For example, somebody that is actually a 25% video watcher, that's a custom audience. Now, we got also, for example, the actual website visitors. That's another audience. And then we have something else called, that Facebook calls a lookalike audience. You can turn any of these audiences into a lookalike audience. What does that mean? Let's say that you have a list of 10,000 customers. You can give that data to Facebook. You can give that entire data to Facebook, and Facebook will help you find potential customers similar to your existing customers. They actually find 6 common traits that they can actually match with those people based on their data, and now you can communicate with those guys. Wow, powerful, right? Okay, guys, so we're gonna get to that later on. Don't worry about it. We'll be covering that in detail. But in this one, let's just look at interest targeting based, like what they call the core audiences. So let's go and select a couple of options. Right here, we're talking about what we can see right here is that on the top right hand of the screen, top right hand corner, we see that it says the potential reach is 30 million people. We gotta bring that down. So we're gonna go into, check it out. If I do browse, I can go something into behaviors, and I can go into business to business, company size, and then people that are owners of a company, you know, maybe they are actual executives of a company. Let's select this option right here. They are members of a company that is between 1,000 to 5,000 total size employees. Guys, I get the question asked all the time. If I'm a business to business, how does Facebook work for me? Don't you guys think this is amazing? We can target people based on where they work. For example, here, if we browse, we can see the demographics, and we can see, for example, here, one that is, looking, job role, corporate executives, look at that, financial professionals. Wow, so this is so cool, because check it out. Right now, if you see the detailed targeting right here, it says, include people who match at least one of the following. So now we got an audience of 2.8 million people. Let me go ahead and extract one of these. Okay, so now we're going down to 2.4 million people. So what did I say? 1 to 2 million people. So just as a bellwether, right? So let's go and bring that down a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the age range, get it closer, tighter, and let's go to 39 years old. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now we have an audience of men ages 39 to 49 that are corporate executives and financial professionals. We have 1.7 million people. Do you think there's a very high chance that a lot of these guys are going to be interested in an agency like us that can give them more results? Heck yes. Yes, we will. So instead of having 100, 200 million people, now we got 1.7 highly targeted individuals. You would say, like, how does Facebook have this data? Corporate executives? Financial professionals? Guys, they have this data because you have given it to them along the way. And they also have third-party relationships with companies like, for example, Nielsen, which is a major corporation that has rating information and third-party data, that they get fed this data nonstop. So along the way, they've done a good job of gathering data from us. So now we can use it as advertisers to communicate with the right people. So this is an example of how I would do my targeting. This is not the only way. There's a lot of things that we're going to explore along the way, but it gives you an idea on the ad set level. If you like this audience, you can save this audience and be like, I'm going to go ahead and save this audience right now. I'm going to call it executives, males 39 to 49 years old. So now the next time that I actually run an ad, then I can just go ahead and use that saved audience. Makes it very easy for you to keep on optimizing and perfecting and improving along the way.